Welcome back. We talked about strength in the big scale in the last episode. So, this episode, I will break it down to a pirate and comrade, and we look at it one by one. So, out of all strength and shield characters, which is on the opposite side of money, pirate is seen as a sign of broken marriage for man because collector represents wife. We know that money represents wife, but when collector and gambler appears together, then collector represents wife and the gambler represents a lover, concubine, something, which is why a gambler will make people more womanizing than a collector. So a pirate is the slaughter of the collector. It overcomes your wife. So pirate people are not only have bad marriages, I mean men, but also bring bad fortune to their wives because they overcomes their wife. For woman, judge represents husband, so the sign of broken marriage is rebel who overcomes judge. In another word, women who are too proud like to show off despise other people, which is rebel, and men who are impatient, warm on the outside and cold on the inside, don't understand and don't trust people, which is a description of a pirate, have the roughest marriage. So, in fact, although they are on the opposite, pirate and gambler people actually appeared to be very similar. If you don't see them their life code, sometimes it's hard to say who is gambler, who is pirate. And they do not cover what they want, and they don't afraid to make moves. That's what pirates and gambler people do. They actually can be described in the same word, like social, bold, generous, active, and confident. However, gambler represents wife and money, and pirates represents the opposite, such as a divorce or a bankruptcy. So, what makes the difference? Let's start with boldness. Money is something I overcome. The thing people are working on is the center of their attention. So, in other words, money people are focusing on the goal. Pirate is an ego character, therefore I am the answer. I am the center of the attention. So their attention is focused on themselves. Their feelings are the decisive factor when they are making decisions. So gambler people are bold but careful because their focus is on the goal. Pirates people are rude and impatient because their attention is not really in there. Pirate and gambler both have very good social skills. They are both social, can be described by the word social. Pirate people are good friends because they are incredibly generous and helping. They don't care the cost when they want to help you. We call it heroic. In a movie, a guy said that with great power comes great responsibility. Well, that's about superheroes because it doesn't make sense on human. There is actually no principle behind the code of brotherhood or we call it the personal loyalty. They help you not because you're right, they help you because they like you. That's the only reason. They turn on you because they don't like you, and that is the word heroic about. That is what pirates is about. So compared to superhero, Wild West heroes are more like it. And gambler peoples are also generous, but more purposeful. So they generous with a purpose. They don't hesitate to spend money on friends because they know it will eventually benefit them. And they can take a step backward from somebody as long as it is worth to do so. So they have better relation with people, right? Because of that. On the other hand, pirates people are generous because they want to show supremacy because pirate is an ego character. The reason they want to help is they just want to help and like a big brother, right? They often lose their tempers with friends because they take rejections very personal. So they consider what did to others is just charity givings. I did so much for you. How can you say no to me? They will think like that. Moreover, pirate people are not grateful to other people's help. This is because, after all, pirate is an ego character. Deep down, they don't respect other people. Gambler and pirate are both social characters. So, but gambler can be benefit from their relations. Pirates usually suffer losses. especially when pirates are as full, right? Gambler people are good with people because they are social and they know what people want. Pirate people have good social skills in public. They treat strangers better than their close ones. That's what we say. The closer you are, the colder they becomes, and that is bad for to. If your husband is like that, that is bad for you. This is because pirate is a different sex character, so they attract to other people. But essentially, it is an ego character, so they like to help people. On the other hand, they are the believers of every man for himself, and the devil takes the hindmost. So they like to. This mentality makes pirate people a paradox of generous and mean. So they are glad to help you no matter the cost when you're having trouble, but they wouldn't be happy if you do better than them. And they will put their mean face up if you are on their ways. So, in conclusion, this is why pirate people have unpredictable temper. Pirate people have bad temper because it is hard to find a balance point in their mind. They like to make people love and admire them, but they don't really care about other people. Sometimes, which is cost. Sometimes they selflessly benefit others, and sometimes they feel regret for doing that. So, in short, in conclusion, one little thing results in a large difference, which is focusing on the goal. Focus on the goal means everything you do serves the purpose. We hate it when people said we don't like this word, which is there is no permanent friend, no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. But we don't like that word, but that is what focus on the goal is about. So, according to the old school descriptions, pirate people love gambling and always lose. I took it off from my book. I took it off from my description of a pirate because you cannot use it to give fortune tales. If you use it, people will say, no, you're wrong. I don't like to gamble. Well, the theory isn't wrong. It's just hard to explain. Love gambling doesn't mean go to casinos. It is just a speculative, risk taking mentality. In the previous text, I mentioned that taking risks is a secret to success, but it is not enough. A gambler and pirate both like to take risks, but gambler can make money, pirate will lose money. I said it doesn't need a carefully calculation to choose to make a move. That's the secret to success, right? But when you're actually making the move, carefully calculation is required. In other words, you can always bet on working, bet on taking initiatives, but you cannot bet on betting. You cannot just close your eyes and choose something without thinking it. That's the difference between gambler and pirate. Nowadays, lots of pirate people are very wealthy too. The reason gambler represents money and pirate represents a loss of money is pirate doesn't have an insight into people's feeling, into other people's feeling. However, sometimes you don't need to understand. You don't need to understand other people. The love of gambling itself is enough to make you rich. Well, there are more chances in the world than any time in the history. If you are interested in speculation, you will see and seize the opportunity. Sometimes you just don't know there is a chance to grow your money. And it doesn't matter you don't understand people because as long as you put money there, most likely you will make money, like RSP, right? But if you don't know it, which a lot of people do, if I talk to people about RSP, RESP, TFSA, somebody will say, "What is that? What are those? I never heard of it." Sometimes these only will make the difference between rich and poor. Sounds like Warren Buffett, isn't it? Because he is an investor. Let's take a look. This is Warren Buffett's life code. I was right that he has a pirate, and there's more. Warren Buffett has pirate at the spouse position, which means he's not preferred husband for women. He had divorced before. But it's hard to say. Who doesn't want to marry with Warren Buffett, right? Especially old Warren Buffett. In addition, he has a strong owl. Owl is on the opposite of money too, and it is an antisocial character. So this life code doesn't look like a rich man's code, or this life code doesn't looks like a businessman's code. But wait, Warren Buffett is not an ordinary businessman. He is an independent investor. His work is not playing games with people, but making decisions by himself. Therefore, ego is not a problem because he is not dealing with other people, and the shrewdness and the learningness of Al can be a great help in this speculation. Moreover, Warren Buffett has 9 as the self code, which made him good with numbers. If you have 9 or 10 as self code, or you have a lot of water in your life code, that means you are good with numbers. Warren Buffett's success proved things will develop in the opposite direction if they become extreme, but it is an unusual case. In my opinion, it is not worthy to learn or emulation. So it is not a good idea to learn from Warren Buffett because he is a special case. But most people, when they talk about investing, they will try to learn from Warren Buffett. Well, other than gambler, pirate also share resemblance with slaughter, although pirate is on the opposite of slaughter too, because authority overcomes strength, right? In fortune telling, the contraries often appears the same, appears similar, which is just like what I said. Different attribute can be described in the same word. For example, judge and pirate can both described as heroic character. But the difference is, judge people admire hero, and pirates people like to be the hero. Comrade people are alone, and the gourmet people are alone too. But there's a difference. Gourmet people are alone means they are vulnerable to loneliness, and the comrade people's loneliness is kind of what they ask for. I cannot say that comrade people love loneliness, but it's like when a recluse and a pop star, they both say they hate attention. They mean different things. The recluse hates attention because he didn't want attention at the first time. And the pop star hates attention because he got too much attention, and that is why he hated. And there are other examples. For example, like Slaughter and Ribble are both proud and hate discipline and ruly. The difference is Ribble hates discipline naturally, and Slaughter people, they appears to resent discipline because they're under too much discipline. They're under too much pressure, therefore they resent it. So it's like the more sense of honor you have, the more you cannot accept order from the random people who haven't earned your respect yet. We know that soldiers have a soldier's pride too. But in the end, soldiers is people who follow order of other people. Slaughter and Pirate shares resemblance because they are both violence character. If you can remember, the description of Slaughter is destructive, and the description of Pirate is aggressive. We know that two kind of people like to resolve matters in the means of conflict. Some aggressive people are unexpectedly fragile. They break down a lot, and because of that, they turn to go extreme. And some aggressive people are very different. They're extremely strong-headed. They don't care what other people think. What other people thinks or do means nothing to them. These two kind of people are very different yet very same, because no matter you feel very low or you feel very high, they both would cause the expense of ego, right? If you are ego, then you are ego. If you are, feeling low all the time, that also causes the expense of ego. Like somebody they grow up in a poor family, and you know what I'm trying to say, right? And let's take a look at this two person. I didn't pronounce their name. Look at their names. This person is a manga artist, and this person is a manga artist. They are both from Japan, which is why it's hard to pronounce their names. So this person, let's because they all have Ao. Ao is the signature of a manga artist because what they do. What they do is drawing pictures. But this person has very strong pirate, and this person has slaughter, slaughter, slaughter. So they are violent in different ways. Let's see what is the different ways. What is the different way? So K and H, the two person, are both Japanese manga artists. The first person's most famous work is Baki the Grappler. And this person's most famous work is Gantz, Gantz. I don't think that is a word. This is a word he made. Two mangas are equally violent, but we can detect that the authors has different views. In the Baki the Grappler, the personal strength is everything. Good and evil doesn't even matter. Strength is the only rule. If you're strong enough, there's nothing you cannot do. Funny thing is, Baki the Grappler is supposed to be a realistic manga because no superpower in it. But still, a guy they can swim in the ocean and punch a shark into unconscious. That is because he has a lot of pirate, very strong pirate. And the other person in Guns, personal strength is nothing. Strong or weak doesn't matter because you are going to die anyway. If you see someone show up with a title such as a karate champion, you know that role is going to die soon. Because what this manga trying to show is, compared to the cruel and invisible force that controls everything, it doesn't matter what you can do. So they have different attitude that which can be detected from their life code. Well, slaughter people live under pressure. They have explosive temper because they have been cornered. They facing pressure all the time, which is why it is easy to touch their bottom line. Pirate is a badass character because of its big ego. People with big ego usually they need more private space. Comrade people hate when others interfere their business, and they won't interfere other people's business. That's comrade. But pirate's ego is outgoing because it is a different sex reaction. They like to deal with other people's. So pirate ego is outgoing, so they cannot help. They just cannot help to provoking others. So they are aggressive, outgoingly. Well, in short, pirate people and slaughter people are both believers of violence, but they have different perspectives. Slaughter people are being oppressed, so violence of the slaughter is about resist, and they usually adore the power of faith, because they are the weak against the strong, right? The violence of pirate is about offend, which is why they usually adore absolute strength, which is why these two persons write different manga. In the past, war were merely competition of aggressiveness, so a pirate and slaughter people were considered the material of wars. Nowadays, the nature of war has been changed, especially in American. It's like playing a video game, right? But slaughter and pirate are still signatures for a military person. For example, this guy. Everything is suggests the owner of this life code is a military person. There's three signatures of military person. If you have both three, then it's very high chance you are a military person, which is Blade, Slaughter, and General. General is an other agent. Blade is other agent. He has all three. And Slaughter looks weaker than the pirate, but it is still pretty powerful because this is money. Money grows Slaughter. And this slaughter is earth, and 7 contains earth, so this slaughter has a root, not so weak, right? Peaceful characters such as Gourmet and the Guardian are completely gone. He has no peaceful character at all. Even the residual character means the hidden line character, are all destructive. 7 contains slaughter, and 12 contains wood, which serve as rival for him. because Rebel is also troublemaking. All he has indicate that this is a very super badass person. Just as the life code shows, this person is indeed a destructive and a merciless guy. His name is Curtis LeMay, born this time, November 15, 1906, and that is how we got this life code. He is a general in the United States Air Force and the advocate of a nuclear war. He is known for planning and executing massive bomb campaigns against cities in Japan and killed more Japanese civilians than nuclear bombs. He said, "It doesn't bother me so much to kill the so-called innocent bystander." And allegedly, this guy cannot smile. Now let's take a look at some more famous military leaders. I said Lees here. And this is Germany general. He has very strong pirate. And this is Japanese. He has a strong pirate and a strong slaughter. And English, pirate and slaughter. And this is American general and the president. He also have very strong pirate. He also have very strong slaughter and the comrade against the slaughter. And Joseph Stalin. All of them have destructive characters such as pirate and slaughter, and most of them have both. Among them, the German has no slaughter, only pirate. Pirate people are impatient, so he was known for his direct, hasty way, and known as the fast Heinz. And this Japanese dude has a very strong slaughter and pirates, both. So he has pirates take the command, and the slaughters took two routes. So he was extreme. His dad cut his leg 12 times with a samurai sword to celebrate his 10th birthday. Imagine that. It's a 10-year boy and being cut 12 times with a sword. And Joseph Stalin was not a military leader, but he was definitely a very ruthless person, because 3, 4, 5 would gather and become wood, serve as slaughter. So the power of slaughter was actually more than it shows in the chart. So he has 3, 4, 5, and gather becomes slaughter. So that slaughter is a huge slaughter. And he has owl to serve as favor. Owl make people alert. So spectacle and code. So I'll show you more about him because I'll use him as an example of reading fortune lines. Actually, most of the examples I will reuse. And by then I can tell you what exactly what kind of person they exactly are, right? They exactly are. So let's move on and see the next example. Friedrich Nietzsche. This is the second time we see him, right? In the money section, we have seen the life code of Friedrich Nietzsche. In the previous text, we analyzed why it was hard for him to find a wife or girlfriend. Actually, we can also see what was Nietzsche's mind, what was in Nietzsche's mind from the life code. So under normal circumstance, slaughter overcomes comrade, so authority overcomes strength. But Nietzsche's comrade is much stronger than slaughter. The two slaughter he had is floating, that means no root. And the 3 comrade takes all the root, and they also take the command position. That means this position, zodiac month. That this position, the code is twice as strong. So he felt the discipline that was brought by authority, but his ego was too strong and overturned the authority upon him. That is why he come up with theories such as this is means Superman. Superman is not bound by good and evil. He follow only his will. Morality was something developed by the weak people in order to defend themselves from the strong, etc. The reason he come up with this theory is because he has this mindset. Because he uses ego to against the discipline upon him, which is why he adore the strength and think only strong and weak matters. And comrade is more ego than pirate because it is a same-sex reaction, but comrade is a modest character. Unlike pirate is an arbitrary character because comrade is an ego in a defensive way. Defensive means same sex. They don't interfere others, and other don't interfere me. It's like I do what I do, you do what you do, right? They rather below themselves to avoid criticize from others. In comparison, rebel is proud and want to stand out. They want to, and the comrade is competitive and refuse to take defeat. So that's the difference between the proud of rebel and proud of comrade. Comrade is an ego without love, so comrade people like to be alone. Yet comrade also represents fellow buddies because comrade is something like us, the same as us, right? If I'm a wood, the other wood is comrade, so which is why it represents fellow buddies, colleagues, competitors. So they know how to make friends. It depends. If comrades serve as favor, that means the life code need comrade to become stronger. Then they are good at making friends. If comrades serve as foe, then they know making friends, but they don't like to make friends. Comrade represents peers, such as brother to men or sister to women, same sex, right? Loves between men or women are not as natural as loves between men and women. That can happen without any reason, which is why Rebel likes people, right? Likes to deal with people. But this brotherly or sisterly love is more sincere and lasts longer under tests, which is why we said comrades people, they don't have a lot of friends, but their friendship are very sincere. Sincerity is heart to heart. Comrade character is the same as ego. So heart to heart is how comrade people face themselves, which is why they like to keep distance with friends, but treat them with sincerity, similar to how English gentlemen treat each other. Keep a lot of distance, but be sincere. That is why comrade to and ego, comrade and the life code is the same, which is heart to heart. It's how they uh, do. That's how they face themselves, which is how they face the world. And another Japanese manga artist, KM, right? He has comrade, 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 and a pirate here. So he has a lot of strength. This person is, I can pronounce too, is, let me try, Kishimoto Masashi. Is a Japanese manga artist best known for creating Naruto. Used to be very hot. Seems to me Naruto is a manga theory about all about self-awareness, loneliness, competition, attention demanding, and the love and hate between brothers. Comrades represents brother, right? So that is because the author have very strong comrade. So those things are in the author's mind. So Kishimoto has comrade serve as foe because he's too strong, right? Therefore, he hates his brother because comrade is his brother, at least in the subconscious level. The relation between Sasuke and Itachi, that's a pair of brother in his work in Naruto, is a psychological projection of the author and his brother. In the manga, these two brothers finally made peace, but I think that was the author deceiving himself. I mean, it is very hard to admit hate to brothers, not even to himself. You just hate him, you just don't know it, right? So, comrade people are honest to themselves, heart to heart, remember? But it doesn't mean they don't lie to others. Different characters have different style of lying, such as pirate, gambler like to brag. Guardian people like to cover up, but nothing in fortune tell can make sure the person doesn't lie at all. So there is no honest character. So I guess lying is a human nature and honest is a nurture attribute. So comrade people, they don't talk too much, but they are sincere, they are direct, they are determined. In the Ridley Scott's movie, the main male leaders, leading actors in his movies are always this type of man. If you don't believe, you can see all his movies. Moreover, comrades people like to listen to their hearts. Do they what believe to be right? So it's pretty much close to Confucius' ideal personality. However, it is possible that we do something wrong and think we are right, right? As the word says, the road to hell is paved with good intention. Human heart is like a mirror. It can reflect anything but the mirror itself, because it is our nature to overestimate what we have done for others and underestimate what others have done to us. So it is not right to stick only in what we believe, especially when we are managing other people's life. So, comrade, it sounds good, but it is not absolutely good. So this guy, he has very strong rebel and very strong strength. He has comrade and pirate, and rebel with root, and this is Idi Amin. Idi Amin, as we know, is a great dictator. Not only has a big ego, but also strong rebel. So he was stubborn, arrogant, and looked down upon others. So he killed 100,000 his own people in 7 years when he was in power. So yesterday I reviewed the movie American History X. This is a simple movie. A skinhead, a bald person, did all kind of evil things and letting his family very worried. Finally, he killed a man and then go to jail. He was actually reformed. He was actually turned rehabilitate. Rehabilitate means change his attitude in prison and released. After release, he became a reasonable member of the society. Well, this skinhead was a talented and kind-hearted young man, but he did the most brutal thing I ever seen in the movies, including zombie movies. And the first time I saw this movie, I thought, of course, this guy is evil because he's neo-Nazi. But at the second time, I realized his brutal behavior and the correctness of his belief has no relation at all. The only reason of his brutalness, of his brutality, is he was an extremist. He was extreme. Good and evil are subjective concepts. Seem to me Nazism is evil, but seem to somebody I must be evil. So every extremist think he is righteous, but correctness of belief can never be the ground of radical behavior. So it is not his belief is wrong. It is radical which is wrong. I think that is what I've learned from the movie. So that is what I thought after watching the movie. So you can't believe yourself too much, like a comrade. You cannot be too stubborn. So like let's say Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is very weak, right? As we see, he has rebel, he has judge, so he has non-strengthened characters. And Barack Obama. Obama has very strong comrade because it's taken the root, it's taken the command, and he has slaughter serve as favor, making him a righteous person, right? Politics is not a battle royal. That's a Japanese movie or a Hunger Game. I mean, these two movies are very similar to a bunch of people killing each other, and the winner is the last one survived. But in fact, it is. Politics is a battle royal or a Hunger Game. But the point of a democracy is to change that. In the US, Bill Clinton can be the leader of the country, prove to US is a democracy country. Because otherwise, there's no way a guy like that can be last standing. If this is a battle royal, he will be the first to die. As a man, Bill Clinton is weak, soft, arrogant, and disobey. That's from his life code. Obama is strong, determined, and righteous. However, USA was a better country in Clinton's term. Clinton is weak, so he didn't force everybody to do what he likes. Obama proved he is a fighter, but how can you be the hero and the referee at the same time, right? Just be the referee. Hopefully, we can remember the lesson. The more developed the society, the less important politics become, and vice versa. The more important the king is, that means the society is underdeveloped. Those are everything I want to say about strength character. Now we go down to the last character I haven't talked about so far. We have learned what makes a man good with women, but what makes a woman attracted to men? Well, that is our next problem to solve. So, if you're a girl, next episode will be the most valuable for you. I'll see you next time.